Alright, this video is requested as well. And between EU and North America, I've pretty much built the majority, 90% of these monsters. Majority of natural 3-star units are for PvE only. There are certain ones that can shine in PvP. If you like all my videos and like my content, hit the sub button, hit the like button, hit that bell dingy dingy thing so you know when I post a video. Let's go, baby. Tip of the day. All natural 3-star units do get power creeped at some point, but early game they are super easy to build, max skill, and max awaken. Natural 4-stars and 5-star units are going to have better base stats, and most of the time better skills. Eventually you do want to pretty much level 70 every single natural 3-star unit, because of account level skill points. So they are never a waste. Never use a restore stone on a natural 3-star unit. And ultimately this tip of the day, I'm going to give you a natural 3-star unit that shines in all the dungeons. Obviously you can bring Dark Harpy for every single dungeon, she's just a beast. But these are going to be specific natural 3-star units regarding the mechanics of the fight. Queen Spider's Nest. When Mummy Namib, this stacks up poison on the boss and also gives him a heal over time. You build him with a ton of health, and you can literally go to work on Water Arachne with Wind Mummy. Forgotten Earth Shrine. Weaker element, but Wind Gore Apano. Not only here, but Water Road Special Expedition as well. He's a beast. Soul Link spam his first skill. Tear Glands. Fire Gore Diane. Specifically made for this dungeon. Spam his first skill. Laboratory of Madness. Wind Yeti. You can spam his first skill that has unrecoverable, or you put him on non-soul link and he has one of the best 3-star heals in the game, and he'll apply unrecoverable. And Lava Cave. Water Charger Shark Aquas. The boss burns, he removes burns, gives himself an attack speed buff and drain. With Lava Cave, only basic attacks hurt the boss. So with his attack speed buff plus Frostbite on his second skill, you build him Swift Blade and he can do the job for you. Wind Special Expedition. You need a Fire Warrior, Bulldozer. You know what he does, he's a beast. You spam his second skill. Already talked about Wind Gore Impano for Water Roads. Spam his first skill and the boss never has buffs. Fire Taladas Expedition. Water Imp Finn. You need damage over time on this boss so that he doesn't get the damage taken down buff. Light Shrekly Expedition. Water Garuda Konamiya. Electric Shock is an issue here, he stacks it very high. Remove Electric Shock and give you mana regen speed up. Unfortunately, there's no fire 3-star support, and the only 3-starred archer there is Dark Fairy, and she doesn't bring anything to the table because you can't stun the boss. So Water Garuda is it. And Dark Borbo Expedition. Finn. He's good in 2 other places. He has damage over time, which helps because Dark Borbo you can only get damage from basic attacks and damage over time. But also he freezes, which Dark Borbo can be frozen. All these natural 3-stars that I mentioned for these dungeons, they don't technically need to be built. But if you're having trouble and need someone for them who's relatively cheap, those are the monsters to build. The more you know. Alright, on to the natural 3-star tier list. I broke these down in 6 different categories as well. We got the no. We got the rare occasionally, but no. We got the specific areas. We got the strong natural 3-stars, which could be in either PvP or PvE. Top of the class useful units. And the 100% okay to build good natural 3-star units. Alright, the monsters above me are the no. These are units that you just don't build. These are just units that you eventually hit level 70 for account skill points. These above me right now are the rares, but no. Some of them could be situational, but there's just other 3-star monsters that are better. These 3-stars are for account skill points, level 70 later in the game. These monsters are for specific dungeons only. You build these specifically for places that you're stuck at. For example, Water Imp is up there, Wind Mummy's up there, Wind Harpy's up there for Guild Raid Tower, Water Charger Shark's up there, Wind Warbear Ramagos for manual play only. I could see why you could build them, yes, but they shouldn't be a priority. These units above me now are all strong. You can build them and there will always be at least multiple places you can bring them. Very situational. These are also situational but better than the ones before. My favorite right now are all 3 of the Gors. You're gonna see a video of them. You've already got a glimpse. But all these monsters are viable. Alright, now let's get into the good natural 3-star units. This is in no specific order. First, we got Dark Fairy Soren. Soren's special because she is the only natural 3-star archer. She has an AoE skill that costs 3 mana, also has a chance to stun, and she has a single target attack that does 50% more damage when the enemy is stunned. Her basic attack can also have a low chance to stun as well. You just gotta make a team comp around her. If you bring someone that stuns, you're gonna have her benefit the most. Fire Pixie Tattoo. Tattoo shines in Ruined Temple Seal. EU Asia, you don't have it yet, but she is a staple there as a 3-star unit because she has Explode Burn. But not only that, I've seen her used in PvP. It can be pretty crazy. Dark Living Armor Zinc. As free-to-play, Zinc was a crazy good investment for me. He helped me beat TUA 200 hard as Orbia. I've also used them for many other things. He has an attack down, he has a block beneficial effect, and he has AoE crit rate down. He mitigates a ton of damage, he will block beneficial effects so the enemy can't get buffs, and he's a frontline warrior. You just make him tanky with high accuracy. Wind Golem Ragion. If you need a tank, especially wind, he is a good choice. He has defense up and immunity to himself. He has an AoE provoke, and his passive is crazy. Whenever he gets below 50% health, he gets a level 3 heal over time. He can be really hard to kill with defense buff, immunity, and a level 3 heal over time. One of my first personal favorites, Wind Salamander Lucan. What I like about him is that he has a heal over time. If for some reason your team has bleeds, he'll remove bleeds as well and cast another heal over time. But really it's just the heal over time from a 3-star monster for AoE or all allies. It can be really beneficial. Not only that, but his first skill can silence as well. And it's a high proc rate of 90%. Some bosses in dungeons can be silenced. The ones that can't be silenced can be frozen. Another one of my personal favorites, Water Mummy Nubia. HP based warrior who has a frostbite on his first skill, and both skills are also bonus damage from his max HP. But the crazy thing about him is his passive. He has a 90% chance to freeze when he uses a skill. His first skill is a 3 mana cost 20-second cooldown. His second skill is a 2 mana cost 14-second cooldown. I've used this arena and brawl, and you can use his second skill and freeze literally non-stop. Dark Imp Garak. His passive is really good for longer fights like raids. When the target's HP is below 50%, he deals 50% more damage. Both of his skills are on low cooldowns or 3 mana cost, and he has a bleed on his first skill. Light Yeti Arcahan. So if you're lacking a front line and need an attack buff, Light Yeti is your choice. Plus, it does AoE damage based off of his defense. So you make him a very defensive, tanky front line. Also to note, if any of your teammates get attacked, he has a passive that lowers the cooldown on rage. This will give him more chances to cast AoE damage and apply attack buff. And my personal secret weapon, Dark Frankenstein Crawler. Crawler is very unique. He is the only warrior that has a provoke. Not to mention that this provoke is on a 2 mana cost. So if there is an assassin on the other team, the assassin might go for your Orbia or for your mage or archer or whatever. Right in the beginning of the match, you will have enough mana to be able to Soul Link use Crawler's provoke, saving your mage. And since he's defensive based with damage, you make him a defensive type of monster. His second skill is also on a 2 mana cost. And this skill does more damage if the target has no harmful effects. And at the beginning of a match, when no one has anything, You could even choose to use this skill instead on the assassin. Not only that, if he for some reason gets attacked by area effects, he gets a damage dealt up buff. Alright, so now we're going into the monsters that are 100% okay to build. Of course, we got Fire Frankenstein Bulldozer. You guys have seen the damage. Put him as Soul Link, use his second skill, he ignores 60% of the defense. But not only that, on non-Soul Link, he has an AoE stun as well. A lot of different places you can use him in. We have the attack equivalent of Bulldozer, which is Light Imp Taru. I've done damage tests on him. He can do as much damage as Bulldozer in PvE. Bulldozer has a little bit more burst for PvP because Bulldozer bases his damage off of attack and defense. With Taru, it's just attack. Plus, Taru's third skill only ignores 50% of defense. But he's an assassin and not a warrior. So where Bulldozer goes after assassins, Taru will go after mages and archers. He also has a stun on his first skill. Water Frankenstein Tractor. Tractor is good in Naraka during the Bremis phase, and he's also really good in PvP. He cannot be defense broken, and he is a defense-based monster. Also, when he is attacked, he has a chance to apply a level 1 defense break on the enemy. This is great for someone who has a 2 mana cost Provoke. Put him on Soul Link and cast Provoke at the beginning of a PvP match. And he also has an AoE stun on his second skill. That's why he's so great in Naraka during the Bremis phase, because he has 2 AoEs that will break the shields from the Bremis adds. Dark Harpy Helia. Do I even need to talk about her? Everyone should know her by now. Defense break and damage taken up. When Pixie Shannon, obviously everybody knows her. Defense buff, attack down. If her first skill only attacks one person, it'll apply a defense down to, you know what's up. The second man of the Holy Trinity, Water Garuda Konamiya. AoE heal, skill cooldown, you know what's up. And the third Holy Trinity, Fire Fairy Acelia, you know what's up. AoE unit, 2 attacks to hit multiple enemies. Can replace the enemy's defense up with a burn. If the target already has a burn, you can apply defense down. And also can remove an attack up buff on the enemy. And if they don't have an attack up buff, then she applies attack down. The light version of Water Garuda, Light Garuda. Mr. Tion is still good even after the res nerf. His mana cost of the heal is 4, unlike Water Garuda's, which is 3. However, what's nice about him is that you can build him as a defense-based Garuda. With Konamiya, you have to build with high HP, because Konamiya's heal is based off of his HP, Tion's is based off of your ally's HP. Also, if all team members are alive, the cooldown of this skill is actually 19 seconds. So he's better as a non-Soul Link monster. And last but not least, one of my staple 3-star units at the beginning of the game, Wind Yeti. Rakaja has a heal block on the first skill, but Rakaja has the best heal in the game for 3-star units. It's a 3 mana cost, low cooldown, and the more allies that are alive, he heals for even more. I still use him to this day. And that's it for today's video. I'm leaving the link to the tier list in the description below if you want to save it, download it, whatever. Will I do a Nat 5 tier list is what everybody's asking. I can do that, but just know the majority of the information is probably not coming from me, because I'm free to play. This comes from my guild Elegy and our discussions for the tier list that we made. We have a lot of spenders in the guild who have maxed out some of these natural 5-star units. Some point in the near future, I will do the Nat 5 tier list. I'm going to take that tier list and go through my experience and knowledge with that and give you the best tier list I can. If you like all my videos and like my content, sub, like, ding a bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!